what appealed to me was that George Lucas, who wrote it and also directed it, didn't want a damsel in distress, didn't want your stereotypical princess, you know, sort of a victim, frightened, incapable of dealing with a situation without the guys. So he wanted a fighter. He wanted someone who was independent, and that's what appealed to me about that part, yeah.
When you read the script, which I imagine was several years ago now, what was your reaction? Because it is, I'm sure then it must have seemed, to some extent anyway, a pretty bizarre kind of film.
Well, I wanted to know what the lunch breaks were going to be like, you know, when they said cut, and here you were sitting around with three-headed monsters and people with hairdryer heads and so on. But it was a terrific script because they had to budget the film like a low-budget film. They call it the most expensive low-budget film ever made. They had to plan every shot because they were going to have to devise all sorts of new things for the special effects. They only had, and I say only, but for special effects it's not much, $3 million. It's a $10 million film. They devised a whole new method for shooting the special effects, which was computerized. And they would have a memory, and it would just shoot the thing on against a blue screen over and over for about a year to perfect all of the things, the blowing up of certain portions of the planets and so forth. It took a long time to do all that.
Now, as well as working with robots and strange sort of creatures, you also get involved in some very hairy, death-defying scenes yourself, don't you? I'm thinking in particular when you fly across that chasm with the handsome hero Luke. How did you feel about that? I mean, I presume you did it, did you? It was you.
It was me. I don't want to brag or anything, you know. No, it was difficult to do because it was about 30 feet up, and they had a brace on Mark Hamill, who plays Luke, and one on me connected to him. And they put 2 cameras up, and first they hung us from the ceiling to check the durability of the rope or the actors, I don't know which.
Charming.
And the crew made fun of us. We just hung there helpless. And then we did the swing across, and I was very frightened, and we did it, and I liked it. But we did it right, so I didn't get to do it again and enjoy it. I just had to do it with all that anticipation.